There are moments in life that change you forever. Moments where you see people for who they really are. For me, that moment happened at JFK Airport, standing in front of Gate 47, holding 5 passports in my trembling hands. My son was begging. My daughter-in-law was screaming. And my 3 grandchildren were looking at me like I'd just shattered their world. But let me tell you something. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to finally say enough is enough. My name is Margaret. I'm 72 years old, and I live in a small 3-bedroom house in Ohio that my late husband Robert and I bought 43 years ago. Robert passed away 6 years ago from a heart attack. Sudden. No warning. One minute he was laughing at something on TV, the next minute he was gone. Since then, I've been living alone, trying to fill my days with gardening, book club, and Sunday dinners with my son David and his family. David is my only child. I raised him by myself after his father walked out when David was just 5. I worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3, to make sure he had everything he needed. Piano lessons, baseball camp, college tuition. I scraped and saved every penny. When he graduated from business school and got a good job in marketing, I was so proud. I thought I'd done something right. Then he met Christine. Now, I want to be fair here. Christine is a beautiful woman. Polished. Always perfectly dressed, perfect makeup, perfect hair. She came from money. Her parents owned some kind of investment firm in Connecticut. When David brought her home for the first time, I could see she was looking around my little house with this expression. Not disgust exactly, but something close to it. Like she was mentally calculating how far beneath her this all was. They got married at this gorgeous venue in the Hamptons. 500 guests. I wasn't allowed to invite any of my friends because Christine said they needed to keep the guest list exclusive. I wore a dress I found on sale at Macy's. Christine's mother wore Chanel. I remember standing there at the reception, feeling like I didn't belong at my own son's wedding. But I smiled. I hugged them both. I told myself that as long as David was happy, that's all that mattered. They had 3 children. Emma, who's now 14. Lucas, 12. And Sophie, 8. Beautiful kids. Smart as whips. And I loved them with everything I had. I tried to be the best grandmother I could be. I'd drive 2 hours to their house in the suburbs every other weekend. I'd bring homemade cookies, help with homework, play board games with the kids. I showed up to every school play, every soccer game, every piano recital. But Christine always made it clear that I was tolerated, not welcomed. She'd make these little comments. "Oh, Margaret, you didn't need to bring anything. We have plenty of food." Translation: "Your cooking isn't good enough for us." Or, "The kids already have plans this afternoon. Maybe next time." Translation: "We don't actually want you here that long." David would just stand there, silent, not defending me, not saying anything. I told myself it was fine. I told myself that at least I got to see my grandchildren. That had to be enough. Last November, right after Thanksgiving, David called me. "Mom, can we come over? We need to talk to you about something." My heart jumped. They never came to my house. Ever. Christine always had some excuse. Too far. Too busy. The kids have activities. They showed up on a Saturday afternoon. All 5 of them. The kids ran straight to my TV, and David and Christine sat down at my kitchen table. Christine was wearing sunglasses inside, which she does when she doesn't want to make eye contact. David cleared his throat. "Mom, we've been talking and we want to do something really special for our family this year. We want to take the kids to Paris for spring break." My heart swelled. "Oh, David, that's wonderful. The kids will love it." He shifted in his chair. "Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's expensive. Really expensive. 5 plane tickets, hotels, tours, meals. We ran the numbers, and it's going to be about $35,000. I nodded, not understanding where this was going. Christine took off her sunglasses and looked directly at me for the first time. "We were hoping you could help us out financially. It would mean so much to the children to experience European culture. It's educational." I blinked. "You want me to contribute to the trip?" "Not contribute," David said quickly. "We were hoping you could cover it. We know you have Robert's life insurance money and the house is paid off, so you don't have many expenses." My mouth went dry. They wanted me to pay for their vacation. $35,000. Robert's life insurance was $250,000. That money was supposed to last me the rest of my life. I live on Social Security and a small pension. That insurance money was my safety net, my emergency fund, my peace of mind. Honey, that's a lot of money, I said carefully. Christine's face hardened. Margaret, you always talk about how much you love the grandchildren. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them. Don't you want them to have experiences? To see the world? Of course I do, but what? Christine's voice got sharp. You'd rather sit on that money and leave it to rot in a bank account? David is your only son. These are your only grandchildren. When are you going to start acting like family matters to you? I felt like I'd been slapped. David reached across and grabbed my hand. Mom, please. We really want to do this. And honestly, it would mean everything to Christine and me if you were part of making this happen. You've always been so generous. Remember when you paid for my college? This is kind of like that. An investment in your grandchildren's future. I looked at my son, my baby boy, the one I'd sacrificed everything for. And he was looking at me with these puppy dog eyes, the same ones he used when he was 7 and wanted a new bike. I heard myself say, okay. Christine smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Oh, Margaret, thank you so much. The kids are going to be thrilled. Over the next 3 months, I watched the charges come through on my credit card. I'd given them access to pay for everything because David said it would be easier that way. First-class flights. A 5-star hotel near the Champs-Élysées. Reservations at Michelin-starred restaurants. Private tours of the Louvre and Versailles. Designer shopping on the Rue Saint-Honoré. Every time I saw a new charge, my stomach twisted. This wasn't educational. This was extravagant. This was excess. But I didn't say anything. I told myself that maybe this would finally make Christine accept me. Maybe she'd see that I was willing to do anything for this family. Maybe things would change. The week before the trip, I was at their house helping Emma pick out outfits to pack. Christine was in the master bedroom on the phone, and I could hear her voice carrying down the hallway. I know, Mother. I can't believe she actually agreed to pay for it all. David said she'd do it if we guilt her enough. She's desperate to feel included. I froze, a sundress in my hands. Christine laughed. Oh, please, like we'd ever pay for her to come. Can you imagine Margaret at the Ritz? She'd probably show up in those awful orthopedic sandals and one of her polyester pantsuits. No, thank you. This trip is for our family. Our real family. I felt something crack inside my chest. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing those words over and over. Our real family. I'd paid $37,000. The total had gone up, of course. It always does. And I wasn't family. I was a wallet. A bank account with a pulse. 3 days before the trip, I went to see my friend Dorothy. Dorothy's known me for 40 years. She took one look at my face and put the kettle on. Maggie, what's wrong? I told her everything. The money. The trip. What I'd overheard. When I finished, I was crying so hard I could barely breathe. Dorothy grabbed both my hands. Margaret Rose Patterson, you listen to me. You are worth more than this. You are worth so much more than being used and disrespected and thrown away like garbage. What are you going to do? I don't know, I whispered. Yes, you do, Dorothy said firmly. Deep down, you know exactly what you need to do. The question is, are you brave enough to do it? I thought about that all night. About courage. About dignity. About what I was teaching my grandchildren by allowing myself to be treated this way. Was I showing them that love means being a doormat? That family means letting people take advantage of you? The morning of the flight, I woke up at 4 a.m. I got dressed. I put on my nicest pantsuit, the navy blue one with the silver buttons. I did my hair. I put on lipstick. And I put every single passport in my purse. David had given them all to me weeks ago to hold on to since I was so organized. I drove to their house. They were loading suitcases into their Mercedes SUV, everyone rushing around in expensive travel outfits. Christine was wearing a cream-colored Burberry trench coat. Morning, Mom. David called out. Right on time. Can you believe we're actually doing this? I smiled. I can't. Do you have all the passports? His face went pale. I thought you had them. I do, I said calmly. They're in my purse. I'll give them to you at the airport. Relief flooded his face. Oh, thank God. You scared me for a second. The drive to JFK took an hour and 15 minutes. The kids were excited, talking about the Eiffel Tower and French pastries. Christine was on her phone, texting her mother. David was reviewing their itinerary. I sat in the back seat next to Sophie, my youngest grandbaby, and held her little hand. She looked up at me with those big brown eyes. Grandma, I wish you were coming with us. My heart squeezed. Me too, sweetheart. Christine turned around from the front seat. Sophie, we talked about this. This trip is for our immediate family. Grandma has her own life. Our immediate family. There it was again. We got to the airport at 9:30. Their flight was at 1 p.m. We checked the bags, got the boarding passes for everyone except me. Of course, I wasn't going, and headed towards security. That's when I stopped walking. Mom, come on, David said. We need to get through security. The line's getting long. I need to use the restroom first, I said. You all go ahead. I'll catch up. Christine rolled her eyes. We'll wait here. Just hurry up. I walked to the nearest family restroom, went inside, and locked the door. Then I took out my phone and called the airline. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely dial. Yes, hello. I need to cancel 5 tickets on your 1 p.m. flight to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Reservation under David Patterson. The woman on the other end hesitated. Ma'am, these are non-refundable tickets.
Yo.
I understand. Please cancel them immediately. Are you sure? The passengers won't be able to board. I'm absolutely sure. She put me on hold. 2 minutes later, she came back. All right, ma'am, the reservation has been canceled. The passengers will not be able to board the aircraft. Thank you, I whispered. I hung up. I looked at myself in the mirror. My face was white, my eyes were huge, but somewhere behind the fear, I saw something else. Strength. Self-respect.
Power.
I walked back out to where they were waiting. All 5 of them, standing there with their expensive carry-on bags and their entitled expressions. I reached into my purse and pulled out the 5 passports. I held them up so everyone could see them. David reached for them. Thanks, Mom. Okay, we really need to. No, I said quietly. Everyone stopped. What? David looked confused. No, I said, louder this time. You're not going. Christine's face twisted. Excuse me? Margaret, this isn't funny. Give us the passports. I canceled your tickets, I said. My voice was steady now.
Clear.
About 5 minutes ago. You're not going to Paris. None of you. The color drained from David's face. What are you talking about? I heard you, Christine, I said, looking directly at her. 3 weeks ago. At your house. You were on the phone with your mother. Talking about how you guilt me into paying for this trip. Talking about how I'm not your real family. How you'd never let me come on vacation with you, because I'd embarrass you. Christine's mouth opened and closed like a fish. David grabbed my arm. Mom, wait. We can explain. I pulled my arm away. Don't touch me. I've spent 6 years trying to be part of your family. I've driven hundreds of miles. I've swallowed every insult, every dismissal, every cruel little comment. I've shown up and been ignored. I've bought gifts that were never appreciated. I've loved those children with everything I have, and I've watched you teach them that their grandmother doesn't matter. Mom, please. I paid $37,000 for this trip. I continued. My voice was getting louder and people were starting to stare, but I didn't care anymore. $37,000 of the money your father worked himself to death to leave me. Money that was supposed to keep me safe and secure in my old age. And you guilt me into spending it on a luxury vacation that I wasn't even invited on because I'm not real family. Christine found her voice. You're being ridiculous. David, do something. David looked between us, panicking. Mom, okay, yes, Christine said some things she shouldn't have said, but you can't just cancel our entire trip. The kids have been looking forward to this for months. Then you should have thought about that before you used me like an ATM machine, I said. Emma, my oldest granddaughter, stepped forward. She was crying. Grandma, please. I saved up babysitting money for souvenirs. I studied French. Please don't do this. That almost broke me. Almost. I knelt down so I was eye level with her. Emma, sweetheart, I love you so much. But I need you to understand something. The way your parents have treated me is not okay. Love is not about what someone can buy for you. Family is not about using people and throwing them away. And I need to show you that you should never, ever let anyone treat you the way I've let your parents treat me. She was sobbing now. Lucas and Sophie were crying too. Other travelers were definitely watching now, some filming on their phones. Christine's face was purple with rage. You spiteful, bitter old woman. You're doing this because you're jealous. Because you're alone and miserable and you can't stand to see us happy. I stood up slowly.
No, Christine.
I'm doing this because I finally realized that I deserve better. I deserve respect. I deserve gratitude. David was pale and sweating. Mom, please. We'll apologize. We'll do better. We'll include you more. Just call the airline back. We'll figure this out.
It's too late, I said.
The tickets are canceled. They were non-refundable, so that money is gone. $37,000 gone. Consider it the most expensive lesson in respect you'll ever get. I opened my purse and carefully placed all 5 passports on top of a nearby trash can. You won't need these today. Then I turned and started walking toward the exit. David followed me, grabbing my shoulder. Mom, stop. You can't do this. What are we supposed to tell people? Everyone knows we're going to Paris. Christine's mother, our friends, the kids' school. I stopped and turned around one last time. Tell them the truth, David. Tell them that you used your mother. Tell them that you taught your children that their grandmother is only valuable for her money. Tell them that you stood by while your wife disrespected the woman who raised you alone, who worked herself to the bone to give you everything you have. Tell them whatever you want. I don't care anymore. His face crumpled. For just a second, he looked like the little boy who used to crawl into bed with me during thunderstorms.
Mom, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Please. I'm sorry too, I said softly. I'm sorry I taught you that it was okay to treat me this way. I'm sorry I didn't stand up for myself sooner. But I'm not sorry for this. Not even a little bit. I walked out of that airport with my head held high. The next few days were hard. So hard. My phone rang constantly. David called 47 times. Christine sent me emails that ranged from apologetic to absolutely vicious. Emma sent me a long text telling me she hated me and never wanted to see me again. That one hurt the most. But Dorothy came over every single day. She brought soup and wine and bad movies, and she reminded me over and over that I'd done the right thing. A week later, David showed up at my house. He looked terrible, exhausted, defeated. Can I come in? He asked. I almost said no. But he was still my son. We sat at the kitchen table, the same table where this had all started. The kids won't talk to me, he said finally. Emma, especially. She's so angry. She says I ruined her life. You did ruin something, I said. You ruined the relationship between your children and their grandmother. You taught them that I don't matter. He put his head in his hands. I know, Mom. Christine's parents are furious with us. They can't believe we asked you for that money. Christine's mother called her selfish and spoiled. We've been fighting nonstop. I think she wants a divorce. I didn't say anything. I was such a coward, David whispered. You raised me better than this. Dad would be ashamed of me. My eyes filled with tears.
Yes.
He would. Can you ever forgive me? I took a deep breath. David, I love you. You're my son, and I will always love you. But forgiveness isn't something you can just demand. It's something you have to earn. And right now, I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I even want you in my life. He looked up, terrified. Mom,
You need to leave now, I said.
I need time. I need space. And you need to figure out what kind of man you want to be. The kind who uses people, or the kind who honors them. He left, crying. That was 4 months ago. David has been in therapy, individual and marriage counseling. He sends me letters every week. Actual handwritten letters, not texts or emails. He apologizes. He explains what he's learning about himself. He tells me he's trying to be better. Christine sent me one letter. It was 2 pages of apologies and explanations about her childhood and her insecurities. I don't know if it was genuine or if it was just her trying to save her marriage. But it was something. The kids have written to me too. Emma's letter made me cry for an hour.
She apologized for what she said.
She said she understands now why I did what I did. She said her mom and dad have been different lately, more careful with people, more grateful. She asked if she could come visit me this summer. I wrote back and told her yes. Last week, I did something I'd been thinking about for a while. I took $15,000 of Robert's insurance money and booked myself a trip.
To Italy.
3 weeks. Rome, Florence, Venice, the Amalfi Coast. I'm going with Dorothy and 2 other friends from book club. We leave in September. When I posted the photos of our itinerary on Facebook, I got a text from David. That looks amazing, Mom. I'm so happy for you. You deserve it. Maybe we'll fix this. Maybe we won't. Maybe my relationship with David and Christine and the kids will heal, or maybe it'll always have a crack running through it. But I'll tell you what I know for sure. I know that I'm worth more than being someone's ATM. I know that love without respect isn't really love at all. I know that sometimes the kindest thing you can do is say no. And I know that at 72 years old, it's not too late to choose yourself. My whole life, I've been taught that being a good mother, a good grandmother, means sacrifice. Means putting everyone else first. Means swallowing your pride and your pain, and just being grateful for whatever crumbs of affection people throw your way. But that's not love. That's not family. Real love is reciprocal. Real family treats you with dignity. And if they don't, you have every right to walk away, no matter how much it hurts. I spent $37,000 at that airport. But you know what I got in return? I got myself back. I got my self-respect back. I got my power back. And that, my friends, is priceless. So if you're out there right now reading this and you're letting someone treat you like you don't matter, I want you to hear me. You matter. Your feelings matter. Your boundaries matter. You are not selfish for demanding respect. You are not cruel for saying enough is enough. Sometimes love means letting go. Sometimes love means standing up. Sometimes love means choosing yourself. And there is nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.